All right, guys. Last night there was some legislation pushed forward towards the Senate that could have some real consequences with regards to election integrity. And you can see here Mike Lee, and with the help of Chip Roy, they are putting forward some real legislation that I believe, if this passes, could be a major demise for the Democrat Party. I want you to listen to Congressman Mike Lee. I believe he's out of Utah. Let me know in the chat how the audio is. And then also I put a poll in there. Do you want mandatory voter ID? I believe I know the answer. I know what I want, but we're going to build on this. And there's a couple of things that you need to be made aware of. And this goes from MAGA to mega. Check this out.
At President Trump's suggestion, I'm walking into the Senate right now to refile the SAVE Act. We've added a voter ID provision, as he suggested, and also as President Trump suggested, we've renamed the SAVE Act. It's now called the Save America Act because that's what it would do. This is necessary to save America. When we save our voting system, we protect American election security, we truly do save America.
Now, I've got some of the details here, and the details, the devil's in the details. We know that, right? In the filibuster, past the MEGA Act, Democrats will never win another election. I don't believe they can either. Because right now, the Democrat Party on the streets in Minneapolis, and apparently there's a staged protest going to happen today nationwide. Schools are going to participate, everything. But this is called the MEGA Act. Make elections great again. It's going to require, number one, photo identification to cast a ballot. I'm for this. If there's anything in this that you're not for, just let me know. Requires states to verify citizenship when registering to vote. Amazing. Implement stronger routine voter list and maintenance requirements. Meaning when someone dies, they come off the voting rolls, right? Someone gets deported, come off the voter rolls. Requires mail-in ballots to be received on election day. None of this stuff sounds outrageous. Bans partisan voter registration initiatives. Biden bucks. This is whenever people will suddenly change their registration to go vote in the opposing party's primary to pick a weaker opponent. And then whenever the main election comes back around, they will re-register back as a Democrat so they can vote for Kamala Harris. Requires states to use paper ballots for federal elections. Nothing sounds dangerous here yet. Bans ballot harvesting. We know how that worked. Bans ranked choice voting. Another Ponzi scheme to oftentimes allow weaker opponents to get involved. Bans universal vote by mail ballot. Is there anything on here that sounds dangerous? Is there anything on here that sounds racist? Is there anything on here that sounds sexist? Is there anything on here that sounds, I don't know, un-American? Because it doesn't sound like it to me. And I read over this. I went through, I kind of got into the weeds last night looking at this. Here's more. The MEGA Act will restore Americans' trust in our elections. Goes through it again. Voter ID, citizenship verification, paper ballots, and more. Because I believe what we're seeing right now, and I hope you take a picture of this and share it with some of your radical friends, maybe some of your radical opponents, neighbors. Because what we're seeing right now on the streets of Minneapolis, on the streets of a city coming to you, because apparently there are protests planned everywhere today. Schools are going to be shutting down and all this other stuff, right? And yeah, it says mail-in ballots to be received on election day. I see somebody continuously typing no mail-in ballots. Well, there's a lot of people that's their only way to vote. If you get rid of mail-in ballots completely, foreign deployed military would not have the opportunity to vote. So you've got to allow that. You have to. But what I believe you're seeing in the streets of Minneapolis, what I believe you're seeing across the nation is the Democrat Party, they're playing their hand way too early. They are showing their cards way too early. And what I mean by that is it's really easy to see that who they're protesting for, who they actually care about. Are the people in Minneapolis protesting for voters? Are they protesting for people in their districts? No. They're protesting for criminal migrants that would be removed from these voting rolls. That's who they're protesting for. This should be so easy. And I hope that John Thune, the Senate Majority Leader, I hope that they get behind this. Somebody says require your thumbprint. Good luck. Good luck. I can't say that that's a bad idea, but right now I'll take anything. I'll take anything for an improvement. And it sounds strange that we're actually at a level of conversation where we think that we need to pass this SAVE Act. No other country in the world should require or need to pass something like this. Only in America can our elections be this discombobulated. It's radical. Let me show you some more of this. This is gaining ground. This is going to get very, very heated because the Democrat Party is holding on for dear life. And if this were to get passed, the Democrat Party, as you know it, is probably finished. Here's a list of countries that require ID to vote. I want you to look at this. Look at the country down here that doesn't. United States. We're a joke. Our elections are less secure than Haiti. Some of these countries I couldn't find on a map in 10 minutes. I mean, look at this. Are we not the biggest clown show in the world right now? When all of these countries, all of them have voter ID and we don't, Macedonia, Kyrgyzstan. It's funny, I've been to a bunch of these countries and never knew they had more secure elections than we do. It's pitiful. It's sad. It's disgusting. Let me show you this clown. What do you think about this guy? I never realized he was 3'5". Obviously, NASA wants hobbits for astronauts. I wish he would go to Uranus.
What do you think about Republicans in the House talking about attaching the SAVE Act to the DHS funding bill if it is amended?
Well, I think it doesn't surprise me. I mean, it's consistent with what we've seen. They just sent the FBI to raid Fulton County election office there. So I'm not surprised. They want to make it harder for people to vote, and they want to continue, Donald Trump's, bullshit story about how his election was stolen in 2020.
And what do you
So
make?
you're against proof of citizenship or identification to vote in elections?
Hey, no, that legislation, has, it is an effort to make it hard for Americans to vote.
What do you make?
It's to make it hard for people to vote. Do driver's licenses make it hard for people to buy cars? Think about it. Do driver's licenses make it hard for people to buy cars? Do ID cards make it hard for you to open up a bank? Does ID make it hard for you to mail something? You have to show ID to send packages, right? Try to do that without ID. I don't understand where this guy is coming from, but you can see here other things that you need for voter ID: boarding a plane, cashing a check, tobacco, alcohol, hunting or fishing, medicine. I bought a bunch yesterday at probably need more. Marriage license, unless you're marrying your brother. Purchase a firearm. Get the honeymoon suite with your brother, Ilhan, right? All of those things you need ID, not voting in federal elections. I can't make this up. You cannot get any more clear on how jacked up our elections are. And the Democrat Party tells you every time what they're going to do if they get back into power. And part of the ways, or one of the ways that they're going to get back into power, is not having secure elections.
We really need to, as soon as we get the gavels back, we have to dismantle DHS and ICE and CBP. And we have to reconstruct them to what they really should be doing. Remember, don't let people tell you that these are agencies that have always existed and they need to exist. They didn't exist before 9/11. He really.
Oh, wow. She brings up a great point. They didn't exist before 9/11. But if they would have, 9/11 probably would have been prevented. It's up to you to decide. But she says everything out loud. What they're going to do if they regain power is they're going to dismantle everything. And I'm sure I don't know what part of Krakistan or Bangbroistan that she's born in. But the Democrat Party always tells you what they're going to do if and when they get back in power. And why would voter ID scare someone that badly? Why is voter ID so damn scary? Because it cuts off their supply. It cuts off their resources. And sometimes the resource maybe isn't necessarily conducive to the ways that, everyone else would want them to be. Putting a link in the channel, putting a link in the chat. Sorry. Here we go. There we go. Join the channel. Got to take off the jacket here real quick. I'm getting a little hot. Finally getting over the flu. Thank goodness. But, I don't think we're out of the weeds. I hope that the Republican Party runs with this and gets this passed as soon as possible. We've got to do it before the midterms. I think Minnesota has exposed a lot of the problems. I've got information coming out right now. I'm trying to corroborate this, that Tim Walz' wife has filed for divorce. Not necessarily for, violating any marital vows with another woman. I wouldn't think Tim would do that, not with another woman. But maybe because of they want to take care of some of their assets. They want to hide some of their things for discovery. They want to hide some of their personal property. I'll show you that in a second, but I've got another clip that I need to show you here. Joe Rogan. I've been a super critic of Joe Rogan for a long time. But when I saw this, I scratched my head because things are starting to come together. The rug is tying the room together. You know, things are starting to come together here. Go check out my sponsor here while we watch this video, mypillow.com/veteran. Phone numbers on the board. You can save 40% off using that code, Mike Lindell.
Why riots only in Minneapolis? And why riots in the place where there's an ungodly amount of fraud that has been discovered?
Coincidentally, right around the same time.
Exactly. Like instantaneously afterwards, the narrative completely changes. Everybody forgets about the fraud. Now all anybody cares about is ICE and fascists and Nazis.
Yeah.
And it's there's a, you know what a color revolution is?
Of course.
And for people that don't, it's a coordinated effort to cause chaos. And this is a very coordinated thing. The idea that this is an organic protest, these riots organic, is nonsense. It's provably nonsense because now
I was muted there. Fred will fix it. He's hopped up on meds just like me. Rogan brings up the point that what we're seeing is this color revolution. And that's a new term that some of you may or may not be familiar with. Some of you may or may not have heard recently, but it's gaining a lot of traction. That is a term you're going to hear more and more, not necessarily from the left wing. You're not going to hear that term from some of those outlets. But he also brings up the fact and asks the question, are the riots organic? Are the protests organic? Let me put this. Are the protests organic or a distraction? And I'd love to get your opinion on this because I believe nothing's a coincidence. Very few coincidences, in my opinion, in politics. I used to work in DC as a lobbyist for a veterans organization. I still got a bad cough. But what we're seeing, and King of Biltong, you need to send me a banner so we can put on the screen here for Biltong USA. But I believe what we're seeing is a real issue around coincidences. The Democrat Party doesn't do anything by accident. And these protests are not accident. In my opinion, and my opinion probably doesn't mean a whole lot here. Your opinion in the chat means a hell of a lot more than mine does. Do you believe that the protests are organic or a distraction? 37%. Here, let me end the poll. Let's get a better, a more decisive poll. Let's go. Are the protests organic? Distraction from the fraud. There we go. I fixed the poll. Sorry about that. I've got this medicine head. I can't really think very clearly. But I think the protest are completely planned. Someone's pulling the strings. Apparently, there's this guy in China, this Neville Roy Singham, I believe his name is, that is pulling some of the strings for these protests. If you haven't heard of this guy, it's pretty interesting. Let me see if I can pull this up. I found this clip about this for those of you that are not aware of who this is. Let me see here. If you're not aware of who this is, maybe this will clue you in because I want everybody caught up on what is happening. China, Ben, you're right. Okay. I believe China has a lot to lose. More importantly, I think they've got a lot to gain by our downfall, our demise.
Now, take a look at this op-ed. Quote, the far-left network that helped put Alex Preddy in harm's way, then made him a martyr. Azra Nomani wrote that, and she joins me now. Azra, who is in this far-left network and who funds them?
Yes, Stu, just like you just heard from the streets of Minneapolis, there is a far left network that is escalating its activities against the federal government. And in this network are self-described socialist, Marxist, Leninists, terms that we might not have thought we would hear today, but they are indeed on the streets. They have guides on how to track, monitor, and harass these federal agents. They have got guides on how to avoid detection and how to basically keep this strike against the U.S. in the, quote, belly of the beast to destroy the empire, as they call the United States.
So who funds this network?
So what's really important to know is that right after the killing, there was an escalation of their activity where they put protesters out on the streets. Who were these groups? They were people like the People's Forum, the Party for Socialism and Liberation, and they put their word out through a propaganda network called Breakthrough News. It's all those organizations are funded by an American-born billionaire living in Shanghai named Neville Roy Singham. He's already under investigation by congressional leaders for alleged intervention and interference in the U.S. domestic politics. It's really serious business that's happening right now.
What this network is doing is surely not legal. Some of the protests and the measures they're taking against ICE, I can't believe they're legal. Has there been any arrest of any members of this network?
Well, what's really important is that Kash Patel has announced that he is going to be investigating this network that has been communicating via Signal. Signal is where they sent many of their first responders, their rapid responders, as they call themselves, to the donut shop before the killing happened Saturday morning. There was a Signal chat that ICE agents were at that donut shop and that people needed to descend on the donut shop. And that's when this tragic killing happened. So the authorities are clear.
Okay. So now you're kind of caught up with that. I just saw something that flashed across the news about 6 minutes ago that this is what I voted for. I don't know if you voted for this. Has Fox tried contacting you? Ben Dyke's trying to control your content. What? Has Fox contacted you at trying to control your content? You know, I can just mute some of these people. There we go. I don't know where the cynicism is coming from. I don't deal with this negative bullshit this early in the morning. Nobody bothers you at your job at McDonald's running the drive-thru. Okay? That's where I'm at. Here, check this out. See what you think about this article right here, because this is so apparently, let me see if I can move this around here. Right here, Don Lamond has been arrested apparently last night or maybe this morning. Let me see here. Minnesota ex-CNN host Don Lemon arrested for Minnesota church invasion. Let me see if I can enlarge the text here for the people that are like myself. Let me go here. Let's see. This is breaking news right now. This is what I voted for. Disgraced CNN anchor Don Lemon was arrested late Thursday night outside of the Grammys. He was part of a group of dozens of protesters who disrupted Sunday worship at the church in Minnesota. But I'm all for this. Not immediately clear what charges he's facing. Been accused of violating the Enforcement Act of, say, 1871. I believe that's the KKK Act, right? voting or serving on juries in the case, also known as the KKK Act. Is this what you voted for? Is it weird that he gets arrested right after Tom Homan goes to Minnesota? Wow. Don Homan is, or not Don, Don Lemon getting exactly what I voted for. Exactly what I voted for. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you love this? So you've got the FBI that is, I think they're taking real action now. And I don't know if you would call this to follow. That's a face only a prisoner could love right there, right? Hope he's got his prison pocket ready. You know what a prison pocket is. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Somebody said more than 10. I'm happy times 100. Okay. You know, me too. Me too. I'm happy to see this. This should make a lot of people ecstatic. I saw somebody in the chat already mention this now. Don Lemon's been taken into custody for the church incident. CBS New York Times and on X are claiming this morning. Wow. He's living in China for protection. That's the Roy Singham. What a clown show. What a clown. But does this just all come on the heels of Tom Homan? Did Tom Homan have this much pull that something like this occurs immediately following him rolling in deep to Minnesota? I don't know if Tom Homan's got that much pull, but damn, it seems like he's got that much pull. Wow. Let me see what else I can find on this. There's got to be more information. Don Lemon. There's got to be more information on this. Don Lemon's been arrested. There we go. Okay, let's go here. Democrats found a way to indict former president 97 times. Republicans can't find a way to indict Don Lemon. The negativity, nice try, but now he's been indicted. Let's see. And you're going to have some people coming out trying to take victory laps like this. Don Lemon was arrested by the Trump administration for his role in Minnesota, taken into custody while covering the Grammys, while covering all the other criminals that are there with all of that, that stuff that they get from kids, right? Don Lemon, 2 minutes into jail. There's the puppet with the prison pocket wide open. Let's see here. This is a statement from the Don Lemon show. Don Lemon was taken into custody by federal agents last night in Los Angeles. Isn't Greg Bovino in Los Angeles? Is Greg Bovino in Los Angeles right now? Oh, I thought he was. Don has been a journalist for 30 years. Nobody cares. His constitutionality protected work in Minneapolis was no different than what he's always done. Nobody cares that he's a journalist for 30 years. The First Amendment exists to protect journalists whose role it is to shine light on the truth. Using Don Lemon's name and the word truth in a sentence should make you all vomit. Instead of investigating the federal agents who killed 2 peaceful Minnesota protesters, we both know that Renee Dumb was not peaceful. We both know that Alex Preddy was not peaceful. More lies. The Trump Justice Department is devoting its time, attention, and resources to this arrest. This unprecedented attack on the First Amendment and transparent attempt to distract attention from the many crises facing the administration will not stand. Don will fight these charges vigorously and thoroughly in court from his knees. I added that part. I love this. I got to give a huge boom shakalaka to the Trump administration for arresting this clown.
And can an amen and a boom shakalaka go right there?
I'm happy about this. I am over the moon that Don Lemon was just perp walked from the Emmys. Wow. And some people, you can't make them happy. The negative pills, they cannot even take a win for a millisecond. Here's one right here. Here's one right here. We have one of our negative Nancy panicking black pills that cannot even for a second accept just a microcosm of a win. I want a conviction. Good God, dude. They should have had a trial last night. They should have had a jury, a judge. They should have had everything last night. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right. Right. Wow. Some people will never be happy. Even when you show them what's happening, they can never be happy. I love it. I love seeing the meltdowns. Let's go here. Gwen Waltz, rumored to be filing for divorce from Governor Tim. Likely a strategy to protect assets before seizure due to the fraud. According to a source close to the Waltz family, Gwen is in the process of filing for divorce from the now Governor Tim. Pictures of her leaving a local divorce attorney are about to be leaked. If anybody has those, I've looked for them. I want to see them. Love to see that. And don't forget that this is her. This is Gwen.
You should be with me and practice with me. What are we going to do? We're going to turn the page. Oh, pretty good. Do it again. We're going to turn the page. And we're going to turn the page. All right, so I'm going to be watching you because when I see Wisconsin, and I'm watching nationally on TV because this is a pretty important place, and Minnesota helped you practice with this. You just show me this. Turn the page, right? Turn the page. And you know what else that looks like? Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Donald Trump. We are turning the page. 52 days and we are turning the page. 52 days and it is bye-bye.
This clip is not going to age well, is it? I don't believe this clip will age well. I think she's turning the page. What does this say? Jacob Frey and his wife are both thieves, corrupt as hell. A lot of smiley faces there. John, I don't want to say your last name and try to butcher it. I don't want to do that. I think she also had some kind of clip where she was really happy about the smell of burning tires in the morning. Do you remember that? I can't find that clip. Somebody email me that. The whole family's nuts. One of the kids is legitimately like something's wrong. Or at least they've acknowledged something's wrong with him. They haven't acknowledged that the rest of the family's retarded too, which they should. They should, they should probably all get therapy together. Here's another huge win. And you know how I like to celebrate wins. I love a good win. And the wins are coming. The winds of change are coming.
In on that and more is Jonathan Turley, constitutional law expert, Fox News contributor. All right, Jonathan, you heard this all day from Democrats and others. It's 6 years later, machine recount, 2 recounts, a machine count, confirming the results of the election. A lot of eye rolling by Democrats and media types. So what's the point in going back?
Well, that's a very good question, but we do have a court order here. So a judge found that there was probable cause. to allow the seizure of this material. And that's just not given for any reason. The judge had to conclude that there was a basis for this. We don't know what caused this search. We will have to see. You know, when the election was occurring, many of us said at the time that we did not see evidence of mass fraud, and that certainly is still the case. But there was a lot of frustration by people who were going to court to try to get access to these ballots. They were largely refused in many states. And so this is a very significant step that these are now in control of the FBI and can be reviewed. Now, whether there's anything there, it's hard to tell. We have to see what this judge felt was a basis for this search. And it's quite an extensive search at that.
In on that.
That's the big part of that I caught. They had to convince a judge to sign a warrant. And I don't know about you, but judges really don't like the Trump administration. So for there to be enough evidence for a judge to issue a warrant in one of the most liberal cities in America, Atlanta, there's got to be some there. There has to be. There is no way around it. Somebody just sent me this. Apparently there are riots. I say riots. We can call them protests. Some people call them protests. I call them riots. Riots are planned today. It's like the damn Weather Channel. Well, there's a 30% chance of riots today. I think it's more accurate than the Weather Channel.
The border czar, Tom Homan, continues to insist he's only just getting started when it comes to tackling the ongoing unrest in this great city. And, of course, the ongoing investigation into ridding the area of criminal illegal aliens.
I've been on the ground less than 3 full days. I got in here Monday. President of the United States called me Monday morning and asked me to deploy here. Got here Monday evening, and I'm staying till the problem's gone. But we've made a lot of progress in the last 3 days.
Hard-fought progress, but not without the cooperation of Minnesota's Attorney General Keith Ellison, who issued a statement saying, in part, I did not negotiate with Mr. Homan.
Democrats are going to be pissed that Ellison probably did negotiate with Homan.
To any agreement or offer any compromise on the goal of keeping Minnesotans safe. Now, those comments come as DHS Secretary Kristi Noem continues to enjoy very strong support from President Trump, even amid fierce vocal criticism from both city and state leaders here.
I would tell them to be leaders and to change their rhetoric, because it is encouraging the kind of violence that we see on their streets today. Their riots are attacking our officers, not just when they're doing their work, but even at night at their hotels. I would encourage the governor to work with us, the mayor to work with us, to get those dangerous criminals off their streets. That's all we want.
A request that has fallen flat with the city's mayor, Jacob Fry.
We are on the front lines of a very important battle. And it's important that we aren't silenced, that we aren't put down. This is not a time to bend our heads in despair or out of fear that we may be next, because if we do not speak up, if we do not step out, it will be your city that is next.
He's right. It will be your city next. So they're calling for nationwide protest, anti-ICE riots today. Expected nationwide. Do you live in a city where some of the stuff is happening? Real KRO, ID required to buy spray paint. Yeah, you can't even go graffiti without ID. You can't even break the law without ID. Good point, KRO. Let me give you that one.
Amen. Hallelujah. And boom shakalaka.
You can't even commit a misdemeanor without an ID. Arizona's next. They're coming for you, Katie Hobgoblin. Is that her nickname, really, Hobgoblin? If it is, that's pretty funny. That's a great nickname if that's really her nickname. Minnesota, probably not out of the woods yet. Amy Klobuchar is rumored to be the pick to take over as governor. She's probably got as good a chance as any to win that race. You know, probably does have a great chance to win that. Why wouldn't they? Why would we suddenly think Minnesota is going to elect a Republican governor? Mike Lindell's a sponsor here on the channel. I want him to win, but I don't know if this many people wake up.
Governor Walzo, you'll notice, Jesse, careful to say that he will not run for public office again. However, Senator Amy Klobuchar could still appoint him to her Senate seat. Also interesting to note that Senator Klobuchar in her announcement did not mention President Trump today by name. She did say that she was going to root out fraud, but that's hard for many of us to believe. She's been a senator for nearly 20 years. She has been silent on the issue of Somali fraud in.
It's weird, isn't it? Senator in Minnesota for 20 years hasn't mentioned the Somali fraud. Right? But now if she becomes governor, she could appoint Tampon Tim to be her replacement. You think there's some inside baseball going on there? You think there's a little inside move happening there? I think that's, who wouldn't think that that's right? The Democrats are that desperate. I don't believe they give up Minnesota without a fight. Listen to Trump here last night at the premiere of his wife's movie. The media thought he was going to back down. He's not backing down. Don't back down. A little Tom Petty reference there.
Back immigration enforcement agents out of Minnesota.
We want to keep our country safe. We'll do whatever we can to keep our country safe.
So you're not pulling back?
No, not at all.
What are you pulling back immigration enforcement?
Somebody said in the chat, oh, let me see if I can grab that comment. Freedom Angel. Okay, Freedom Angel. This is a good point here. Freedom Angel. Where did Freedom Angel go? I'm telling you, Ben, Amy is not going to take the governor's office here in Minnesota. People want change big time. Freedom Angel. I want to be a millionaire big time. I don't know if that me wanting to become a millionaire is effective enough as me getting lucky, I guess. I don't know. I hope you're right. I really, really hope that you are correct. But I just don't know if hoping is enough. I don't know if it's enough. Hope and change. People starve with hope and change. People starve with just hope and change. But at some point, there's got to be some real action. That's my thoughts. Let me grab this clip here. I want to show you something here. A little blast from the past. And tell me if this has ever been more clear. You can check out my sponsor up there, Mike Lindell, mypillow.com/veteran. Let's help Mike get elected. That's where I'm at right now. I want him to get elected. I just don't know what we've got to do to get him elected. Let's go here. See what you think. A little blast from the past.
In Liberalville in America today, the cops are guilty. The cops are the problem. Just like in American foreign policy, the United States is the problem, not the solution. The cops are the problem. They're not the solution. Black Lives Matter exists on the premise that cops are white racist pigs murdering random innocent African Americans. And there isn't a liberal politician in this country that doesn't join that refrain. But if you understand liberalism, if you just listen to these people, what more do you have to hear them go after all these so-called murdering cops?
I got to make a comment on this. Hollywood trolled. By arresting Don Lemon on the night of Melania's movie premiere at the Grammys in Hollywood, is that the greatest troll move ever by Trump? Leave a comment in the chat. That is That is a great thought. That could be the greatest move ever to troll them.
To randomly murder innocent African Americans is not going to take long if there's no pushback to that. Before citizens are going to get the idea that the cops are the problem and that the people that run cities and states are also going to see the cops as a problem. You have your average New York City crime-ridden neighborhood. You throw a cop in there, and that's what destabilizes the neighborhood as far as de Blasio and people who think like him. Leave the neighborhood alone. Those people have their own culture. They've got their own life. The crime they're committing against each other, screw you. De Blasio even talks about raising his son to be afraid of the cops, and he's the mayor. His wife is African-American, so his son is a person of color, and he often tells people how he has to talk to his kid to be on the lookout for the cops, be on the lookout for the people that might intend him harm. They spread this myth. They spread this. They amplify it. They make it much worse than it is.
The news media and the Democrat Party have turned law enforcement into criminals. They've turned the news media into heroes. They've turned hardworking Americans into villains. They've turned ICE into fascists. They've turned Trump into the guy with the little mustache. Don Lemon is a martyr this morning. And Rush is obviously, the worst of the worst.
Ever is. So to me, it's really sad, but it's no mystery why the cops would not engage. They're looking at this. They think, okay, some punks are throwing water on us. This is a no-win. Let's get out of here. To engage this, my mayor is probably going to find against me as the troublemaker and as the provocateur. These people, I'll tell you, their jobs are tough enough. Law enforcement, military, jobs are tough enough without people that employ them or are their bosses come along and portray.
I agree. Completely agree. Their jobs are tough enough. Let's go here. They've already got this breaking stuff here. I am so happy to see this. Here we go. This will make everyone. You're going to love this. You're welcome.
Fox News alert. Journalist Don Lemon has been arrested in connection with an anti-ICE protest at a church in St. Paul, Minnesota. Bill Malusian joins us now with more on this breaking news. Hey, Bill.
Yeah, Charlie, good morning to you. Our colleague David Spunt and I getting this breaking news from multiple law enforcement sources just minutes ago, confirming that former CNN anchor Don Lemon has been arrested by federal agents in Los Angeles just after midnight this morning at a hotel. This obviously all in connection with that storming of a church in St. Paul, Minnesota by that group of anti-ICE agitators. Now, remember, the feds had gone to judges to try to get Don Lemon arrested before. They went to a magistrate judge in Minnesota who didn't sign off on an arrest warrant for him. Then it went to a judge above him. He didn't sign off on an arrest warrant for him. Then it went to an appeals court. They also decided not to sign off for an arrest warrant for him. So there was experts who were predicting that perhaps the feds would go to a grand jury. It remains to be seen if that's what happened here, but we can confirm that Don Lemon was arrested in Los Angeles by federal agents just after midnight Los Angeles time at a hotel. Now, typically, standard procedure with an arrest.
Who was he at the hotel with? Who was he at the hotel with?
Arrest like this is the defendant will likely make their first court appearance sometime the same day. So there's a chance we may see Don Lemon make his first court appearance in Los Angeles sometime today. But obviously, this is going to grab all sorts of headlines. 3 other protesters from that church storming,
Look at these clowns. Look at these clowns. Oh my gosh. This reminds me of that movie, Throw Mama from the Train, Goonies, and a Star Wars bar character. Oh my gosh.
have already been arrested, including who the feds say was the organizer of that protest. The woman in the middle there is a school board member in St. Paul, and then the mugshot on the right is an online personality / agitator, if you want to call him that. He's known as the Woke Farmer. Those were the 3 people that the feds had already arrested, but we have confirmed that Don Lemon has now been arrested in Los Angeles in connection with that viral incident. We all saw the video of it that spread and drew widespread condemnation. The feds have been going after these people on FACE Act violations. So this is still breaking news. Once we get more details about.
I love that they arrested. Okay. What I'm about to say is probably going to offend someone. So I'm ready in the chat. I know y'all are ready for me to offend someone. Are you ready for me to offend someone? If you're ready for me to offend someone, go ahead and type the number 1 for yes, because it's about to happen. Does anyone think that there is a pinnacle level of hypocrisy that they arrested a black, gay, retarded, washed up news reporter on a federal crime related to a Democrat-ran organization called the KKK? Is there any level of hypocrisy with all of this? Black, gay, retarded news reporter fired from CNN. Do you know how retarded you have to be to get fired from CNN? And then he's arrested on charges. They created a law that was created for the Democrat homegrown organization called the KKK. Oh my gosh. This is the best thing I have ever seen. There will be jokes. There will be songs written about this. There will be stories told about this. There will be poems written about this. This is going to be, this just feels so good. This feels so good. That's what I think. Some of you are going to be like, well, where's the conviction? Get over yourselves. Get over yourselves. It takes a minute, okay? But man, I am so happy to see this. That face staring back at you in prison while he's taking a dump on the toilet with 5 other dudes in the cell. It would be a great Saturday Night Live skit. I saw somebody put that in the chat. You're so right. You are so freaking right. I mean, he looks constipated right there. He looks impacted right there. Don, the term bohica is something that you should become very familiar with. If you're a veteran of the military, you know what the term bohica means. I be selling t-shirts. Let's go. Don Lemon Bohica. Oh, gosh. He's going to have a lemon party. The jokes are going to be forever. I need to go watch Kill Tony after this because the jokes are going to be amazing. Let's get back to some regular news here. Let's see here. Tulsi Gabbard just released some documents that prove that Obama led the Russiagate conspiracy. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Ghislaine Maxwell filing a claim 25 of Epstein's accomplices reached secret settlements. Where is, and oh, we got a blue waffle in the chat. That's disgusting. Okay. Where is Marjorie Taylor Greene with the list of names? What happened to that? Somebody said, what's for dinner, Don? I think sausage, kielbasa is going to be on the grill. There's Bill in there swimming with Ghislaine. Yeah. Wonder what is going on with that. Hillary's been awful quiet, hasn't she? Very quiet lately. Weird one. Kristi Noem, they're trying to get her fired. That's not going to work. Donald Trump has chosen a new federal chairman, chairman of the Federal Reserve, Kevin Warsh. Start investing. The stock market is going to take, I'm not going to give you investment advice. I know what I'm going to do. You do what you need to do. You do what's best for you. And I wish you the best. Let's see here. But boy, oh boy, I am so happy to see that guy arrested. Democrats are going to tell you exactly what they're going to do. Look at this. They tell you every time.
I've already met with AG. We are putting out information on helping New Jerseyans know their rights. We are not going to allow any ICE raids to be staged from state properties. And we are also going to be standing up a portal so people can upload all their cell phone videos and alert people. Like if you see an ICE agent in the street, get your phone out. Yes. We want to know.
Yeah. Get your phone out. That's the New Jersey governor. Get your phone out. Film them. Film those ICE agents. They're so bad. Nobody ever tells you to film the criminals and turn it into the cops, right? No, we don't need to turn that in. Let's just film the cops. What is wrong with it? We are in a bizarro world. An absolute bizarro planet when the cops are criminals. Don Lemon's a hero. I got to see. CNN has to be melting down right now. CNN has to be melting freaking down. And I want to witness it. Let's go here. Let's see here. I want to see if CNN has made any comments on this. They have to. Oh, this is almost as good as CNN. This is almost as good as CNN. Let's go here. You'll get a kick out of it. These are the... All right, here we go. Let's go right here. All right. This will be just as good. Guaranteed just as good.
Department is devoting its time, attention, and resources to this arrest, and that is the real indictment of wrongdoing in this case. Again, I'm directly quoting from Don Lemon's attorney here. The statement ends by saying, "This unprecedented attack on the First Amendment and transparent attempt to distract attention from the many crises facing this administration will not stand. Don will fight these charges vigorously and thoroughly in court." That's the statement from Don Lemon's attorney on his arrest last night. We're covering this here on CBS News as our reporters try to confirm information with their sources in LA, in Washington, and in other places. But it appears that this could be...
I see conjugal visits for this guy's future.
...connected to Mr. Lemon's efforts as an independent journalist.
I see conjugal visits for this guy's future. Let me go to CNN and see what they're actually saying. CNN has to be covering this. If they are not, something tells me they knew. Look at this. These dirty bastards. These dirty bastards knew. This is the CNN page. CNN knew. They absolutely knew what was happening. They were tipped off not to cover this. What are their latest stories? Brushing your teeth. CNN knew. And they're avoiding it altogether. Let's go. I want to see how...
we are learning that.
Let's see how they cover it. Let's go here.
It's breaking news that former CNN anchor Don Lemon has been arrested. Here's what we're learning. This is from Bill Malugin with Fox News saying, per multiple law enforcement sources, former CNN anchor Don Lemon was arrested by federal agents in Los Angeles this morning in connection to the storming of a church in Minnesota by anti-ICE agitators. We also do have some more social media posts as well that we'll put up on your screen here for you. But once again, as we just read there, this comes after Lemon followed and spoke to demonstrators who disrupted a church service in a video he posted to his YouTube channel. The New York Post also reporting that it is not immediately clear what charges he is facing at this time. This comes after former CNN host Don Lemon said during an interview last week that the Trump administration would go around a judge or retrofit a law to prosecute him after he followed agitators into a St. Paul, Minnesota church earlier this month. Also last week, a federal magistrate judge rejected the Justice Department's attempt to bring charges against Lemon. Lemon said that he needed to be in it for the long haul as well as keep calm and carry on. Lemon said after the DOJ called him out that he was just covering the protest and that it was an act of journalism. The agitators went to disrupt the service at St. Paul's City's church because they believed a pastor at the...
Okay, I'm looking right now on MS Now, formerly MSNBC, and they're not covering it either. They knew this was happening, and they're not covering it. They knew what was happening. All the liberal news outlets are ignoring this. This tells you that the news and Free Don Lemon is trending on X right now. He is the new martyr. How fast do they have protest across America tearing up the streets in honor of Don Lemon? Let's go here. He could very well be the new George Floyd. Will there be peaceful protests about Don Lemon? I guarantee you we see mostly fiery but peaceful protests for Don Lemon. Oh my God. I can't believe this is happening. I really did not have Don Lemon getting arrested. Who sang the song After Midnight? After Midnight. Ben, just wait for The View. They will say, oh, yeah, I don't watch The View. Sorry, I stand up to use the bathroom, to urinate. I don't watch The View. My wife doesn't watch it either. So there we go. The View. But this is going to be in every airport across America because that's typically the only place that, After Midnight, Eric Clapton. I got a Clapton model guitar back there, 00028. You're absolutely right. Somebody... There won't be any, oh God. I just really, really hope that there are some protests to honor Don Lemon. I'm really praying for a good protest for Don Lemon. That's kind of what I want to see. I don't know how many of you want to see it, but I'm ready to see a Don Lemon martyr doll, maybe a voodoo doll, actually, too. That's what I would like to see. Gosh, I would love it. I didn't have this on my bingo card. If there's anyone that they saw, I mean, it happened after midnight. What time is that here in the Midwest? 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. Somebody says it's all fake. Of course it is. Yeah, it's all fake. Nice. Nice. I appreciate this, the positivity. Let's see here. Tulsi Gabbard, 2028 vice president. I don't know about that. I don't know who will be the vice presidential candidate. I don't know who will be the presidential candidate for the Republicans. I don't know. Lines are open. Let's take a couple of calls here. I can't wait to hear what some kind of opinions you guys got on this. Let's go here. Line 2. What do you got, line 2?
This is Chris from Hope.
Chris, what do you got?
First, if I was a betting man and I was in Vegas, I'd put all my money to say that that Don Lemon volunteers for Bohica, but that's not really what I called him for. I think I've got a solution that would solve a lot of America's problems, and it would take all of the left's crying racism and political attack and all of this out of it. I think if we would set up mandatory checkpoint days where everybody, regardless of race, religion, sex, or ethnicity or political affiliation, has to show proof of legal residency until we can get the people, the undocumented people, back to their own country and make true immigration reform to streamline it and make it easier to come over here. I think that would solve a lot of problems, and they couldn't cry, well, it's political or it's racial, because
Chris,
everybody has to prove it.
Chris.
And yes.
Chris, 50% of the people in the chat would refuse to show ID. There are I guarantee you, 50% of the people in the chat, rather than fixing the problems in America with a simple show your ID, they would go, I don't have to. I was born here. They would do that. Chris, I love the idea. I love it. But I don't think we could ever get. There are people freaking out because they had to get real ID for their driver's licenses. Chris, thank you for calling. God bless you. Go Hogs. I love the idea. But I guarantee you, people in the chat, as many negative black pill panicans would rather, they would rather have the country destroyed than be slightly inconvenienced. Right? Let's do this. Would you agree to verify your citizenship? Yes or no? I think Chris has got a great idea. Go Hogs. My Razorback hat's back there. They're playing Kentucky this weekend. Let me see if I can grab that real quick while we take another call. Let's go here. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Give me a call. Check out my sponsor up here. They're going to save you thousands. Thousands. Let's go Dawn, New York. What do you got, Dawn?
Hey, Ben, you're
Turn down whatever you got in the background. Whatever you got in the background, turn it off. I'll hang up on you. I don't care how many times you called.
Hold on. Okay. Is that better?
Yeah, go.
Sorry about Yeah, so the Donna got squeezed. I'm so happy. But it's like he's the show pony now. That thank God that Alex thing and that woman are out of the news cycle for a minute. Now we can squeeze a lemon. And I hope he gets everything he deserves. And being from New York City, I love the Rush clip with de Blasio because that's where it all started in New York City. With de Blasio. And his wife, Shireen, took off with like $80 million. And now they're divorced. And de Blasio is now a professor at Columbia. You can't make this up.
I appreciate you calling,
good morning.
Don.
Your show is hilarious this morning.
Thank you, Don. I appreciate it. God bless you. Don Lemon will be the martyr for news. They will come out with a journalist award. Forget the Pulitzer Prize award. You are going to get the giant. I don't even want to say what you should get. I don't want to say what Don Lemon should get. There will be an award created for Don Lemon being arrested as a journalist. You know it as good as I do. Line 3, what do you got?
Good morning, Ben. It's Will David from Kentucky.
Kentucky is screwed. Tell me I'm not wrong.
You are 100% correct.
What do you got to say this morning?
Got two things for you. First is about voter ID. You know, if a president or a presidential candidate has to prove that they are a U.S. citizen, then so should the people that's voting for them.
Wait a second. Wait a second. I'm going to call you a hypocrite here. So you mean to tell me the people picking who runs the free world that has to be a citizen, the people picking him do not have to be citizens?
Common sense tells me.
Are you into the moonshine this early in Kentucky?
Hey, we're into moonshine 24/7. What are you talking about, Ben?
Man, I love it. You're so right. But what else would you like to say? Because I would love to ask you a question about Kentucky.
The second thing I have to say is, Don Lemon being a gay black man, he is not part of the Black Panther Party. He's now the head of the Pink Panther Party. There you go.
Oh gosh, he so is. Let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
Out of all of your elected officials in Kentucky, Mitch McConnell, Thomas Massey, James Comer, Rand Paul, Andy Beshear, out of those 5 elected officials you got in Kentucky, which one is the best?
I don't know if I can pick that.
You take care, brother. I appreciate you calling. God bless you. Kentucky's got problems. Kentucky is cooked. Kentucky is cooked. Wow. For all those in the chat that love Hot Pockets, Kentucky is done. Stick a fork in it. You've got to fix Kentucky. There's no getting lucky in Kentucky. Line 5. Let's head down the scoreboard here. What do you got, line 5? The heavy breathing does not turn me on. I don't know how many times I say it. If you call in and you're like, it doesn't turn me on. It actually makes me think you have emphysema or sleep apnea or COPD or what's the stuff caused by the insulation? I forget what that. There was Doug. Mesothelioma. If you've got any of those, don't call because the breathing doesn't turn me on. The Pink Panthers. Don will be farting rainbows. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Got to show ID at a pharmacy. I had to show ID to get some damn Sudafed. Let's go to Bobby in Mississippi.
Hey, you got it right. I'll be back home Monday. I think the narrative they're going to come up with, the left-wing media, they're having meetings about this. He's going to be the political prisoner of the year.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what it's going to boil down to.
Trump targeted journalists. This is like when Saudi Arabia went after Salman Rushdie about writing the book about how great Islam was, right? Remember that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And they'll cover all the bases. He's a black man, a gay man.
Oprah Winfrey will probably be out. I would say she would lead a walk or a marathon, but we know that's not true because she might lose weight. She will come out with some kind of snack in honor of Don Lemon. It'll probably be called the San Francisco Treat. I appreciate you, Bobby. Bobby, thank you for the call. Here, Chris in Hope, Arkansas. Chris in Hope, Arkansas brought up the point that if we just showed ID, we could fix a lot of problems. 4% of people in the chat do not want to verify their citizenship because it would inconvenience them. Don't ask what you can, what your country can do for you, what you can do for your country. Verifying your citizenship for 5 minutes of inconvenience. 4% of people said, screw it. Statue of Liberty, yank it down. We don't give a crap about America. I knew it. I knew people would not want to prove that they were citizenships. I knew it. Same people will be complaining. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Same people that don't want to verify their citizenship will keep complaining about illegals. They will. It's just the way it is. You cannot disagree with this. You cannot break that argument. I knew it would happen. You want deportations. You want voter ID. You want all these things. Line 3, go right ahead.
You there?
I'm here. The heavy breathing doesn't turn me on. Go right ahead.
Sorry, sir. What I want to know is, it Mike?
Your phone
Mike
sucks.
Bell.
Your phone sucks. I'll let you know that. You said what you want to know. I'll tell you what you don't want to know. Your phone sucks. There you go. Somebody, Steven, says, because I'm black and I'm black and I'm black and I'm black and I'm black. Voter ID is not racist. Let's go here. Line 3. What do you got, line 3? Your audio in the background will get you hung up on. Thank you for calling. Actually, it'll probably get you blocked. I'll just start blocking the retards. There we go. There you go. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. But let me know. I think Don Lemon no, here, I'm going to do this for a second. I'm going to turn that off for a second. Will Don Lemon get a job on The View now? I think he will. Will Don Lemon get a job on The View with the other lesbians? I believe he probably will. Poll in the chat. I think they have to give him his own show now. Line 3. What do you got, line 3?
Hey, Ben, Brandy in Fort Worth. What I want
go
to
right ahead.
know, is this going to become the new lemon law?
The new
For all of us.
lemon law. What do you mean? What
Yeah.
what would be the
Well,
lemon law?
We used to have lemon laws for bad cars, right?
Yep.
So now they're going to play off of that because they're going to say, oh, he's got a legal right, his First Amendment rights or whatever. So then they're going to say, oh, this is going to be the lemon law. You have to let the journalist talk and blah, blah, blah. And he's going to have extra rights because of, where he is on the totem pole.
You believe in free speech, right? I believe in free speech, right?
I believe in free speech unless you're like somebody that's passing stuff around about kids and stuff online.
Right,
you know?
right. That is, yeah, I completely agree. I believe in free speech. I believe in freedom of the press. I don't believe the press gets to stage a raid into a church. I believe houses of worship, but I think where we lost control, and let me ask you this question. Where we lost control was when we allowed the government to shut down churches because of the BS that Fauci pulled.
Absolutely. 100%.
That removed any level of protection for churches. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that you let the government go by way of all these sides, like NGOs. They're working around the system with all their little loopholes, multiple different ways, and it's usurping our First Amendment right, which is the most important one, is our First Amendment right. And all of us people, like, we're the ones that, like, what is it? Go along to get along, or something like that. I mean, that's kind of how we've been and why we are where we are. And I feel like that's, now the problem has just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, and we got more and more knuckleheads out there that
Thank you,
need
Brandy.
to be smashed.
I
Thank you.
appreciate you calling. Brandy down in Fort Worth, Texas, always bringing the fire. Voter ID, yes or no? Let me ask you this question in the chat. Do you think we lost a little bit of our sovereignty, a little bit of our freedom, when we allowed the churches to be shut down for our own protection? I believe when we allowed that to happen, when we shut the churches down, you can't go worship your God because of something from Wuhan, the Wuhan death breath. But now we want to regain the power of the church. We want to regain the power of the church to keep the media out. We let the government in, but now we want to keep the media out. Am I wrong for that perspective? You can't have it both ways. I'll quote one of my friends, Jameson's. He always brings up the fact or the point of how much crap in the ice cream is too much crap. Just a little or half a scoop. The media is protected invading a church. We shut churches down for COVID. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm tracking. I don't understand the logic there, but I will comply. You will comply. Think of the children. Right? Think of the children. Line 2, what do you got?
Hey, congratulations. I love your program. And yeah, we should have legal voting, paper ballots, watermark, and people come in and vote. And that's it.
Do you think we'll ever get there?
God, I hope so, because information coming out on the Dominion machines, how corrupted they are and how easy they're corrupt. There shouldn't be any mail-in ballots. The military should be able to vote overseas, wherever that, and that, God, that can be arranged by even a phone call if it's a secure system. So, I mean, paper is where it's at. And thank you, my brother. My brother was on the USS Andrew Jackson. He was a machinist mate, and what a wonderful life he had. And he went to school for, God, like 2 years, and then his sub-commander called him after he got out.
Okay. I said, I can't do all the life stories, but I really appreciate your brother serving.
Okay, I understand, boss. There's no time, but I love your program, and God, keep up the good work.
What state are you in? What state are you in?
Wisconsin, and it's 20 degrees today.
Oh, God.
Heat wave.
Boy,
I'm going to go out and get a suntan.
It's a balmy 20 degrees. Great day for a protest. Great day for a protest.
Well, I'm not a protester. I would love to get involved in this, but I wish there was an armed militia from retired people. I'm 72 and a Marine. I wish my brother was still here because he'd be at my side, you know. Anyways,
God bless you. God bless your
No,
service.
boss.
God bless you. Thank you very much. Brother's a submariner. He was a Marine. Thank you very much. What a great call. Great call. He said he would take up arms. He's tired of the crap. Go here. Where are you calling from? Area code 740. Where the hell is that?
Marietta, Ohio.
Ohio. Okay, talk to me. What you got?
Oh, I just want to say that I believe the God I serve, he can whoop Wuhan, Iran, or anybody else. And I'm so glad he's in my life. Thank you
I
much.
appreciate you. Thank you very much. God bless you. Great call. Little biblical reference there. Good morning and God bless you. God bless America. God bless Ohio. Let's go here. Area code 616. Where are you calling from? Nope. You could call back. The audio in the background. It says it right here. Turn the audio down. Whatever you're listening on, just turn it down when you call. It's simple. Even a retard can do it. 616 area code. Where are you calling from?
Yes, I'm calling from Michigan.
Okay. What would you like to say now that the audio's turned around?
Okay, I'd like to ask a question. Why did Don Lemon pick a Christian and not like an Islam church or some other church? Why did he have to go to Christian?
Well, you know why. It's so easy to see. If you were to go into a mosque, it's a hate crime. Without a shadow of a doubt. You can drive a truck into a church. Nothing will be, I mean, you might get off with a misdemeanor. You could drive something into a tabernacle or a temple, misdemeanor. Nobody ever attacks Freedom Hall. Nobody ever goes after the Mormon tabernacles. It's always Christianity. It's always Christianity. If you go after a mosque, if you go after one of these Muslim peaceful houses of worship, then it's a hate crime. Let me ask you this. Where you said you lived in Michigan, right?
Right.
You're a Michigan taxpayer, I'm assuming, right?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay. University of Michigan. How many mosques are on that campus?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I live in Grand Rapids, but I can tell you there's several in the area that I live.
Okay. There is only two there's only one on the campus, University of Michigan. And that's a protective house of worship right there. You better not even try to go in there. You'll go to prison for hate crime. That's why Christians are told what? Turn the other cheek. Turn the other cheek. Keep turning the cheek. Right? And they didn't shut down mosques during COVID. Do you know why?
Because it would be considered a hate crime.
Damn right. You can't interfere with that. You can't interfere with that. Religion of peace. But because In God We Trust is on every piece of money that we send to the Taliban, we can shut down Christianity. We can shut down churches. Thank you for calling. I appreciate it. Great point. When's the last time you heard of a mosque getting shut down? Come on. You better buy a lottery ticket before that happens. That's not going to happen. But the little Baptist church, the little Live Oak Baptist church that I grew up in, shut it down. Shut up, slave. Shut it down. It's just what happens. Prove me wrong. Because why would evil minions go disturb Saturn's own temple? Saturn? That's a planet. I think you should go to Uranus, Heidi. Heidi in Canada can't spell. The church I attended would have lemon for communion. Of course they would. Right? Bullshit that mosques are more protected than Christian churches. Prove me wrong. I guarantee you they are. I guarantee you they are. Black Cube Saturn. No idea what that is. I don't understand code. I don't speak in code. Sorry. I try not to use a couple of code words that YouTube tries to push. I don't use the codes. Let's see here. What is this? Oh, I don't even care. If you can't actually use the word, it's obviously not that important. Let's grab a couple of things here. I want to show you this. This is kind of disturbing, actually. And I'm sure a lot of you were there for the memorial, right? I'm sure a lot of people were there for the memorial.
Out here at the Alex Preddy Memorial, I'm here honoring the American citizens killed by illegal aliens. Where are the Democrats out memorializing Ronald De Silva? Where are the Democrats out memorializing Kate Steinle, Dominique Durden, or Drew Rosenberg? Where are the memorials out memorializing all of the American citizens killed by illegal aliens? That's who I memorialize. And all of the ICE officers who put their lives on the line every single day to protect our country. What we need to remember is how we got here in the first place. When you allow 15 million illegals to invade your country in 4 years, and then you have the same organizations and people who invited that invasion obstructing ICE, you're going to get more of this. This could have been prevented if the mayor of Minneapolis would have allowed police to go into the jails and pick up illegals. You wouldn't have nearly as many operations out here in the streets. But also, if the police themselves would have been allowed to be on the streets and work with ICE when they were doing their operations, they could have created a perimeter. Every time I'm out with ICE in Texas and anything like this happens, the local police, sheriffs, law enforcement create a perimeter so that people like Alex Preddy can't go up and attack ICE for doing their jobs. When you have sanctuary jurisdictions, first letting criminal illegal aliens out onto the street, but then not helping ICE, not providing backup, not protecting and serving the community, allowing this kind of thing to go on, this is what you have. So if you want to place blame for Alex's death, besides himself, he chose the actions that led to his death. But if you want to place blame anywhere else, it's on the mayor.
I believe it is on the mayor. I think Ben is it Barkwam? I can never. I'm horrible with last names. Did Democrats cause this? He brings up a great point. I didn't see a whole lot of Democrats out honoring Laken Riley. Did Minnesota mayor cause this by not allowing local law enforcement? I think he's absolutely right about this. Chime in the chat. I can't wait to read the comments on this.
It's on these policies that don't allow police to engage, that don't allow state, local, and federal law enforcement to work together. And the big question becomes, I'm memorializing American citizens. How many angel families? How many American citizens have been killed by illegals? Yeah, I'm grieving for America. It's a shame. It's an absolute shame. But this is the message. There is no compromise anymore. This is what they want. They want to kill ICE. They're loud and proud about it. And unfortunately, you have people like her that's more worried about me interfering and offending somebody at this.
Did you see that? They've got a memorial set up in front of some graffiti, and somebody had to use ID to buy the spray paint to write that graffiti. The Democrat Party is a party of political hypocrisy.
Fortunately, you have people like her that's more worried about me interfering and offending somebody at this so-called memorial, virtue signaling memorial, than they are about actually protecting their community, where this somehow is acceptable language. They got no problem with this. Nobody's over here saying, don't say that. We are lost as a nation if we don't figure this out. I don't want to see anyone else die. But if you obstruct law enforcement, whether that's state, federal, or local, especially if you're armed, then you choose your own fate. If you try to run over a law enforcement officer with your vehicle and they shoot you, that's on you. God bless ICE. God bless Border Patrol. It's time to prosecute the enemies within that are intentionally undermining this country.
Okay, here's my thoughts. Question right here from Caius. I can't even say that. Caius, $2. How far do you think these SOBs, I know what that means, will escalate this? They shot the president. They'll go beyond that. They will at least go that far, right? Bubba and Rocco are waiting to help Don Lemon with his constipation. That's disgusting. And I love everything about it. I love that.
How dare you?
How dare you? I think Alex Preddy will be forgotten in a second. Renee Good. Did we see any memorials for Renee Good? If there were, they should have been outside of a demolition derby or a junkyard. That's my thoughts. Alex Preddy will be forgotten. And he will be forgotten because of one thing. He will be forgotten because Don Lemon will now dominate the headline. Oh, I was waiting on it. It just broke. It just freaking broke. Get the popcorn ready. This is happening. This is happening. MSNBC is making a comment on Don Lemon's arrest. Get ready for the blue-haired tears.
We have breaking news for you. Former CNN anchor Don Lemon was arrested late last night on federal charges.
Everyone you're about to see on this is constipated. Their faces say they're impacted.
Is tied to a protest earlier this month at a church in St. Paul, Minnesota. Lemon says he was reporting as a journalist when demonstrators interrupted a service to protest immigration enforcement. A magistrate judge previously rejected the case against him, but prosecutors later sought and obtained his arrest. Lemon was taken into custody in Los Angeles and is scheduled to appear in federal court this morning. His lawyer, Abby Lowell, calls the prosecution an unprecedented attack on the First Amendment. We have Lisa Rubin here, Molly John Fax joining us. But Jonathan Lemire, can we go through a little more what happened in St. Paul in the church so then Lisa can break down these charges and how it all matches up?
Yeah, we'll lean on her legal expertise in just a moment. But Don Lemon is now an independent journalist, no longer at CNN. He was in Minnesota covering the protests following the two shooting deaths there of Renee Good and then Alex Preddy. This one on January 18th in St. Paul, so just over the river from Minneapolis, protesters went inside a church. They were disruptive to this service. We'll get to Lisa in a moment as to why that would be a charge here. But and Don Lemon, to remind viewers, is someone who Donald Trump has criticized repeatedly in the past. Lemon has been pretty tough on Trump. He has called him names. He frequently calls him a liar. Lemon is someone that Trump has gone after on Truth Social and the like for many years. He's always been an object of some ridicule in the MAGA movement. But what is so important here is this is what matters, is that Lemon says, and we will see if it is the truth, but Lemon says he was acting as a journalist. He was not participating in the protest. He was covering the protest.
That was my question.
And if that is the case, if that's the case, that is indeed a chilling moment here for a journalist in the United States of America.
Here we go. Here we go. Here's where Don Lemon becomes a martyr in the name of all journalists. He represents every journalist that has ever walked the planet. He is the martyr of all journalists. Somebody said something about Saturn. I'm not into the mythological shit, so I don't care about Saturn, okay? Mythological.
Is indeed a chilling moment here for a journalist in the United States of
Here we
America
go.
doing his job as a journalist and being charged for it. That is not
Did he conduct interviews inside the? I mean, I know the protest was happening, and so he followed the protest in to cover the story. At any point, did he take part in?
Yeah, we'll see if we have footage here, but he did. He interviewed some of the protesters. He interviewed some of the parishioners. He interviewed, I think he tried to talk to the minister at one point,
right?
Which was perhaps disruptive in that moment. But again, he's acting as
a journalist.
And Lisa, let's talk about what charge is being levied here and your opinion as to why this is so important.
Let's talk about what we don't know. We know that Don Lemon is still in federal custody right now as we speak. But my understanding is no charges have been filed and unsealed. Don Lemon and his legal team don't even know when he'll make his initial appearance at a Los Angeles.
I wish they would keep him over the weekend. It'll never happen. He'll be out of bail. He was probably getting bailed out right now.
Federal court this morning. That having been said, Jonathan, based on the criminal complaint and affidavit that were filed when authorities tried to get initial charges against Don Lemon to stick, I can tell you that it appears that the federal government is pursuing charges under what's called the FACE Act. And the FACE Act is something that folks who follow the reproductive justice movement are very familiar with because it most commonly has been used to prosecute people who block access to
reproductive justice means they want abortion for everyone in the back of the room. Okay.
Reproductive health clinics who sit there and physically block it. But the FACE Act also prohibits interfering by force with the right to religious worship. And this is an administration who has said they won't use the FACE Act to prosecute crimes of the first type, and they are going to start to use the FACE Act to prosecute crimes of the second. When you look at the affidavit that was filed in that criminal complaint, originally against 8 people, only 3 of them were eventually charged. There is lots of recitation about what Don Lemon allegedly did during that church protest, talking about him both interviewing people outside and sort of talking with the organizers of that protest, sort of embedding with them as they prepared to go in, and then live streaming the protest. And as you noted, even the affidavit quotes him as saying, "I'm just here to chronicle and report on what's happening." He also
Does anyone believe that Don Lemon was just there to, quote, chronicle what was happening? What? Does anyone believe that at all? Because I don't believe it. I don't believe that he was there to chronicle anything. Gosh, what is wrong with these people? These people are legitimately out of freaking touch. They are so out of touch, it's not even funny. Check out my sponsor up there at the top. You want to save thousands on Medicare? It's a good chance for you to do that. Give them a call, 332-867-1305. That is Chapter. They have helped quite a few people here on the channel save a lot of money, including my in-laws, about $1,400 a year. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Don Lemon, if you're watching, please give us a call from prison. Line 3, what do you got?
Hey, Ben, this is Mark from Pittsburgh. I want
Mark,
to throw
what do you
my
got?
phone through the frickin' TV. Ben, Don Lemon, he injected himself into the protest. He said he was on the mission before the protest. He's full of shit. He went up and interrupted the pastor, and when the pastor said, "Can you please leave? I have things to do," he would not get off the altar. He's
Mark,
full
hold
of
on.
shit from head to toe.
Mark, hold on. I'm going to play devil's advocate, and I think devil is very fitting here. I think Don just felt the Holy Spirit call him to the church and call him to the pulpit and call him to interrupt the pastor. I think he was just, he was called spiritually to get involved. Now tell me I'm a liar. What do you think, Mark?
Ben, I think he's playing fast and loose like his ass.
He is playing fast and loose. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate you. If anyone has Don Lemon's phone call or phone number in prison, please have him call me. Don, please call me. I will be so nice if you do. You know what? I think Don needs a flush. Don Lemon needs a flush. Oh, boy, your sarcasm's hilarious. Nobody likes sarcasm. Nobody likes a little bit of sarcasm. Don Lemon could very well...
Don Lemon's he's going to be okay in prison.
He'll be okay in prison. He's fine. He's got some stuff he can trade. I hope, here you go. This will remind you of Don Lemon in prison.
Dive.
There you go. What do you think about Don Lemon? Does he give a new meaning to the word black hole by going to prison? Does he give a new meaning to the word black hole? I think he could. I think black hole just got a new perspective. Fast and loose. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Feel free, give me a call. Love to get your opinion. The Don Lemon. If you get the Don Lemon treatment, what happens? Yeah, I don't know. I think old Don Lemon, you got let's go here. Bruno. I think Don Lemon's going to get rigged for dive. Plug all holes. What do you got?
Oh, yeah. I think you need a new piece of merch for your store.
What is it?
With Don Lemon in an orange suit, kind of half bent over with Bohica.
We had a thing on submarines before we would go out to sea. When you're transiting on the surface, before you dive, we do a procedure. The chief of the watch will announce on the 1MC, rig ship for dive. And by doing that, you close all exterior hull valves. You close all anything that could allow any leaks. I think Don Lemon could very well be getting rigged for dive right now.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I don't know if you ever watch or catch any of the stuff that's going on at nighttime. There's one stream, BG on the scene. He's already there.
He's already there. Good. I hope so.
There's already shit going on in Minnesota. There's a big ass rally there.
You know it's going to happen. And it'll all be in the name of Don Lemon. Alex Preddy was a useful idiot. Renee Dumb, useful idiot. George Floyd, useful idiot. Mike Brown, Trayvon, all them people. Useful idiots.
Many more, because these people have lost their flipping minds. Look at some of the signs they've been carrying that they've made themselves along with the others. These people have totally lost it. They are out there.
Let me ask you this. If something were to happen to Don Lemon while he was in custody, would that be a better
There'll be riots all across the United States. It'll be worse than George Floyd.
The Democrat Party, would it benefit the Democrat Party if something bad happened to Don Lemon?
Oh yeah, this would be their ultimate George Floyd martyr.
Gay,
It would give them
black
everything they need.
journalist in custody, arrested at the Grammys or whatever. Thank you, Bruno. I appreciate you. I think we got to rig old Don for dive.
Dive, dive. Dive, dive.
We got to rig Don Lemon for dive for his own protection. Don Lemon, rig for dive. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Line 5. What do you got? Hello, line 5. The heavy breathing does not turn me on.
I was putting on speakerphone, my man.
Yeah,
I
what you
got one for you, Ben. Representing the 814 in the Pennsylvania district here.
Good morning.
He better be calling Mike Lindell. He's going to be biting a lot of pillows in prison.
Oh, the jokes write themselves. The jokes,
Right?
The jokes write themselves.
You got a minute, my man?
Make it quick. Make it quick.
Well, this one, I wouldn't apologize because a few months, about a year ago when you had, what's his face on, Tim Kennedy, I busted your balls hardcore.
Sure.
And I want to apologize. You didn't know the situation. You probably know what's going on by now, but you didn't know it at the time. I did bust
I'll
your
tell you
balls pretty
this.
hard.
I'll tell you this. The veterans stuff, because of my job in the veterans stuff, I don't get in. I don't watch. I'm not aware of because I work helping veterans that have disabilities. So I don't get into the veterans drama or veterans valor and all that stuff. I just don't get into. I am so out of touch with it because I deal with veteran stuff every day that I don't. It would be like if you're a welder, the last thing you want to do when you come home is watch welding videos or something. You know,
I got you, dude. It makes total sense. I understand that, and I want to say you're doing a terrific thing. You're informing a lot of people.
I'll say this. There are so many vets. It seems like veteran community really tears each other apart. And I don't know if that's true, but it feels like it.
Yeah, it does. It does.
What branch of service were you in? I'm assuming you're a vet. Army? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I served in Afghanistan.
A really good friend of mine. Well, he's a good friend and we worked together. He's retired Army. He was a 11 Bravo, something to do with like tanks, Army tanks. Or Bradley
I was
tanks.
King Delta. I was a cavalry scout.
Well, I appreciate that, brother. You take care and have a good afternoon.
Hey, one more thing.
Yes, sir.
One more thing, my man. I'm 43 years old. You inspired me to try to put it in the ice. I don't know if I can get it, but I'm getting really pumped up. The shit you're doing, and I'm going to try like hell to get in there, but I doubt I will. But I'm going to try.
All they can do is say no. You take care.
You too, buddy.
Appreciate you. Great call. Don Lemon will never see the inside of a jail cell. I want to go ahead and tell you, I think you're lying because he's inside of a jail cell right now. Somebody said Don Lemon will never see the inside of a jail cell. He's in a jail. He's in a holding cell right now. He's not in the lobby smoking cigarettes or pole or whatever. If you're a veteran in the chat, go ahead and put your branch of service in the chat. He's already in jail. He's a martyr, but he's in jail. But you can't have it both ways. Everybody wants these people arrested, but then as soon as they are arrested, you get the negative Nancy's. He'll never see this. Well, he is. Yeah, he is. It disrupted whatever was going to happen on his Grindr account last night. There you go. Line 5. What do you got, line 5? Go ahead.
Hey, Ben, it's old Grumpy. I just wanted to call and tell you I messed up on my super chat where it says, Don Lemon's not worth the water it would take to flush a rat turd, so you wasted a flush there. And as far as I think the Democrat Party just found their new George Floyd. So
If
and his name
Grumpy,
is
let
Don
me
Lemon.
ask you this. If something were to happen to Don Lemon while he was in custody, tell me what sanctuary city would not burn down?
Oh, I couldn't tell you, brother. I couldn't tell you.
He would be the this would be the perfect opportunity if something were to happen to Don Lemon for them to destroy everything in the name of a black, gay, retarded journalist.
Oh, my brother. Oh, my brother. We would have to pump the Pacific Ocean dry to put out the fires.
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me, I mean,
You're not. I can't argue with your logic.
I'm not trying to be doom and gloom. Y'all know I'm very positive here. But if something were to happen to Don Lemon, it would make George Floyd, Rodney King, Trayvon, it would make all of them look like nothing. It would look like Sherman rolling through every sanctuary city. Grumpy, thank you.
Well, Ben, I've told you for quite a while now. I mean, Minneapolis is fixing to be our next Fort Sumter. I mean, this has been brewing for well over a decade, and everything's coming to a head now.
Grumpy, thank you for your service. Appreciate you, brother. God bless you. I think Grumpy's in West Virginia. It's either him or Asphalt Man that sent me some stuff in a jar that's really helped with my cold. Let's do this. If something happens to Don Lemon, America gets Shermaned, gets Shermaned, or nothing will happen. Let me know in the chat if something were to happen to Don Lemon. I believe they would try to burn down the White House. I really do. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Feel free to give me a call. Any and all super chats that I get on the channel go to help with service dogs. Line 3. What do you got, line 3? Well, I thought I answered that. Go ahead, line 3. Where are you calling from? What's your name?
Jeff from Illinois.
Jeff in Illinois. Talk to me, Jeff. What you got?
Two quick things. First, anyone that's involved in any of those obstructions of the federal officers will and should be held accountable for the death of Purdy and Renee Good, because a felony was being committed while the death of a bystander was happening. It happens if you rob a bank and somebody's killed by an officer. You're held accountable for that murder. Anybody involved in that crime that's being committed. Secondly, if Don Lemon does get hurt, I think it's already starting. Yes, he is the next poster boy, but you're going to have a very big First Amendment fight here because of the thin line. He was journalizing, but while he was journalizing, he made obvious, blatant threats and agitation toward these churchgoers. So he had a clear objective of what he was doing. Even though he was journalism, you're going to have that fight for that now. And that's what they're going to say.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Talking a little bit about the Alex Peretti. Were the officers wrong, or was he wrong? What are your thoughts? I had Andrew Branca on the other day, and he said the officers were well within their legal and constitutional rights to protect themselves. When it looked like he was reaching for something else, it could have been another gun. You don't know the guy's only got one gun, right? What are your thoughts?
Absolutely. 100%. He showed up to a protest with a weapon. He's had it on him before. Interaction, violent. So at that point, with previous interactions, he's a violent criminal. He showed up with the weapon. Even if he wasn't trying to pull it and the officer did disarm him, they don't know that threat.
They don't. You're absolutely right.
And if you look at the videos, real quick, look at the videos when they are disarming him. There's so many arms. That officer that pulled the trigger isn't going to be able to tell if that's another officer disarming or if that was him trying to pull his weapon.
A lot of criminals would be alive if they learned one word: comply. Comply.
Absolutely.
I mean, sadly, prisons would probably be overrun if they used the word, if they understood the word comply. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. God bless you. Appreciate the phone call. Great comments. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Ben, George Soros is salivating right now. Right? Oh, gosh, this is so good. Show me on the doll where he touched you. The best chat on YouTube is right here. The most sarcastic, humorous chat on YouTube is right here. Talk to me, paratrooper. What you got?
Good morning, brother. You know what? I couldn't be more happy that they've arrested that clown. He runs around claiming to be a Christian, yet he goes into a Christian church and interrupts people's worship. I mean, how despicable is that?
Well, it's called hypocritical, is what I think. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's a two-faced Democratic Party. They're talking out of both sides of their face and their ass.
If the Democrats didn't have double standards, they would have no standards. I have said that for years, and I think it's so true. You know,
absolutely agree. God bless you, brother.
You take care. Thank you so much. Have a great morning. There you go. If the Democrats didn't have double standards, they'd have no standards. If something happens to Don Lemon, 67% of you think that America would get Shermaned. You know what I mean? I hope they keep Don Lemon very safe right now. I don't want anything to happen to that guy. Let's go here. Line 2. What do you got? Line 2.
Hi, Ben. I have a question. Didn't Don Lemon kiss the organizer of that church invasion?
Kiss him?
Yeah, he kissed one of the organizers of the church invasion.
Oh, I didn't know that. I had no idea about that.
Yeah, there's a video of him kissing her.
Ugh. That's
Is
disgusting.
that what journalists do?
Kiss interview. I don't know. I'm not a journalist, so I have no idea. I'm
Yeah,
a
so-
salty
yeah.
submarine guy. I have no idea.
Yeah, and I understand freedom of speech, but what about freedom to worship in your church?
That was given. Christians gave away that when they allowed the churches to be shut down during COVID. You gave that
Yeah, I
away.
agree.
You gave that
I
away.
agree.
And once you give something away, just like when you give illegals welfare, food stamps, all this, once you give that away, you can't get that back without like some real battle. Once you
Yeah,
give that
I
away, there's
agree.
no getting it back.
I know.
It's sad, but that's the truth. Thank you for calling. I appreciate you.
Okay,
God
bye.
bless you. Do me a favor, in the chat, chime in where you're at, what city you live in. What city do you live in? City and state. Let me know. Let me know how much gas is where you live. Ben Dyke Show rocks. Let's have a single Patriot rally meetup. Maybe us Patriots can find love. Dan, the Army vet. This is not a Tinder channel. If you need to find love, do what every other person does. Go to the bar or go to church. You probably find somebody good in church. This is not a singles. Quit hitting on the chicks or dudes. I don't know what you're hitting on there. I don't know what you're hitting on. Michigan. Tomahawk, Oklahoma. North Pole. Wait a second. Y'all are about to be really upset. North Pole, Alaska, $3 gas. California, probably $11 a gallon gas. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Let's take this call right here. Line 5. What do you got, line 5?
Hey, Ben. It's Art from Texas.
Art in Texas. What you got?
Yes, sir. I was just curious about your thoughts on something that I've been thinking about. I just wanted to pass this by you.
Sure, let's hear it.
I see this whole Don Lemon and the whole church incident as something that can be used either for good or bad. The Democrats already see that they can play two-faced politics and turn whatever narrative they want to. I feel as though they're already setting foot in the same direction that the UK went. They're about to have Islamic takeovers to achieve that, constant power. I don't know if you see it, but that's what I'm fearing. And I just don't know where we draw the line in religious rights.
Here's what I think. The Democrats only care about the Second Amendment when a protester's carrying a gun. They only care about freedom of religion when Don Lemon invades a church. They only care about babies when they can kill them. They only care about free speech when they can shut yours down. That's my theory.
All right, I like it. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you for calling, man. I really appreciate it. God bless you. God bless Texas. God bless Texas. Let's see here. What is this? What is this? Uh-oh. What? Whoa. Okay. Oh. Little Dan Bongino controversy? What is this going on about? Conservative podcaster, fresh from a brief stint as FBI director, turned daily affirmation of Trump's presidency into a ritual since the 1-year mark on January 20th, 2026. These posts, which typically rack up 15 to 20,000 likes, rallied fans with praise like greatest in history. The exchange underscores the sharp divide over Trump's second term. Oh, okay. So he's saying Trump's the president. People are saying, why does he use the word greatest? Okay. I got you. Sorry. Your show is help me bring back. Thank you for putting up with me. Tommy, I won't put up with your bullshit. You're welcome to come into the chat. You go full retard, I'll nuke you. You're welcome to come hang out. But as soon as you don't take your meds and you get nasty in the chat, I don't know you. I don't know anybody, anything. Line 5. What do you got, line 5?
George, California. I just want to say this is the finest example of FAFO there ever was.
George, how close are you to Los Angeles?
I'm about 2 hours away. I got a big mountain range between me and them.
George, why don't you go down there and take Don Lemon a mocha chocolata with some sprinkles and some baby oil? Why don't you do that for us, George?
I'd love to. But another thing, I just want to put it out there that I'm praying for our military because they are in harm's way right now. And in Jesus' name, I want to pray that they're all safe and we hang in there.
I made a video yesterday. Iran is ramping up the rhetoric. It's like they've got Tokyo Rose running their damn social media. They are putting out videos showing aircraft carriers being sunk. They're putting out videos of floating coffins.
Yep.
Yeah. It's absolute disgusting. Let me see if I can find that clip and share that. George, I appreciate you calling, brother. God bless you. God
everybody bless. Pray for our military in Jesus' name that they're safe. We gotta keep our military safe.
Absolutely. Amen, George.
God bless
I
you,
agree
Ben.
with you.
Good channel. Love you. Watch you every chance I get.
Take
Bye-bye.
care, George. God bless you. God bless California. What do y'all think about that California governor candidate, Bianco, taking the knee with BLM? But what do you think about that? Let me see if I can see this. Iran coffins floating. That was a good point. I put up that video yesterday. Whoa, let me see if I can find that. And, oh, here we go. Tell me if this is something to be worried about. Is this something to be worried about right here? Iran posted this yesterday. Okay, let me see if I can hide. Where do I do this? Banners, media assets. Man, I am not the smartest person on the planet this morning. This was something Iran showed yesterday. Let's play this. Now, I don't know what this chicken scratch is. We got guineas. I'm going to have to get them to read that to me. We got some roosters, some silkies. They might be able to tell me what that says. But I guarantee you it doesn't say God bless America. If you think that says God bless America, you're the problem. But look at this image. It is a coffin draped in an American flag, floating in water that's red. And then there's a bunch of other coffins. It zooms out, pans away, thousands of coffins. And then it shows two, what I would say, American ships. What does that symbolize to you? Does it look like Iran's working on a peace deal? Are they working on a peace deal? Somebody says, like that's even possible. Ask the people on the USS Cole what's possible. I think there was about 22 sailors killed on that. Maybe 26. I can't remember. Ben, last night you aired Iran news. Yeah, I did. Absolutely. I showed that. I think people need to be aware of it. I think somebody says Iran's all talk. People usually say somebody's all talk until they take some action. I mean, I don't want to be somebody that's just like, hey, you better wake up, but you better wake up. Iranian media spreading a video created with AI showing coffins wrapped in U.S. flags alongside the aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln. Another act of psychological provocation for some of you, potato. Escalation, verbal confrontation with Trump. Potato, tomato. One person's verbal threat is another's promise. That's what I think. Give me a call, 615-475-7864. Feel free. Love to talk to you. Love to get your opinion on the whole situation. Iran's not going away. They're not going away without some real forceful, probably action. Let's go here. Line. Oh, let me just hang up on you. If I hear myself, I'm just hanging up. Line 3. Line 3, go ahead.
Good morning.
Hello, Dave. Yeah, what you got?
Yeah, this is Jeff. I just called you. This Iran thing's really got me going. I watched you yesterday. I watched Speak the Truth. My biggest issue with this Iran thing is it includes the borders. These open borders for 4 years. It's never been the illegals with the Mexicans or Venezuelans and stuff. It's been the middle-aged Islamic threats that have been coming through for years. Now, if we attack Iran, they've threatened to open the sleeper cells. Nobody's worried about the middle-aged military men that's coming in to fill these sleeper cells.
I agree with you 1,000%. Thank you for calling. I appreciate you. God bless you. Yeah, I mean, the problem in Iran is one thing. The real problem is what's here. He's 1,000% right. Look at this. 1,000% right. Sorry, I'm not paying for a subscription to The Guardian. Sleeper cells and threat warnings, how the U.S.-Iran conflict is spinning up fear. Let me ask you this. Let me just ask you a quick poll in the chat. Poll in the chat. And I've been sick for like 4 days. I watch Red Dawn on I watch Red Dawn. Are there sleeper cells here in America? Quick question in the poll. Are there sleeper cells here in the United States? And some of y'all might like the channel. Some of you might not. Smash the like and subscribe button. I really appreciate it. I take direction from the chat, from the phone calls, from the input. Here's my guideline. Here's my headline, my outline for the show this morning. There's my notes for the show. Iran sucks. There we go. I don't have a bunch of notes. I don't have a producer. Are there sleeper cells in the United States? Somebody says Iranian headquarters, North Detroit. You're not wrong. I hate to laugh, but yes. George, did you watch the original or the remake? Patrick Swayze, baby, the original. I ain't watching no remake. I'm not watching a remake. It's like Weekend at Bernie's. The first one was good. The Biden version sucked. We lived through Weekend at Bernie's with Biden. So if you think there are sleeper cells in the United States, do you not think that these sleeper cells would be activated if there was an attack like this? Is this not a message to sleeper cells? I think that would be a good message to the sleeper cells right there, guys. I think it could be a good message to the sleeper cells. Guys, I got to get out of here. I get a message from the Supreme One. Let me see if I can find him down here. I think he's down here. Let's go right here. You know what? Let's take a couple of calls with Fred on the line. Let's do this. Thank you for what I have learned so much from your show as a Texan truck driver. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. 615-475-7864. Feel free to give me a call. Lines are open. If you want to talk to the Fred, feel free. The Fred is running the soundboard. He's here and he's ready to chat. He would love a donation for a chicken treat. That's basically his favorite thing. And he thinks my cough drops. Fred, you want a cough drop? No, he probably would eat a Hall's or a fisherman's. He doesn't like the fisherman's friend. Let's go here. Line 3. You're talking to Ben and Fred. What you got?
Hello, Ben. My name is Dave from Pennsylvania, Navy veteran.
Thank you for your service, shipmate.
Oh, you're welcome. Same to you, sir. I'm just backing up a little bit. You were talking about voter ID, how people don't want to show their ID, so it's too much of a sacrifice. Well, I just seen your, floating coffins and all that stuff. Tell these people that that's a real sacrifice. Take a visit to the VA hospital and ask them people what a sacrifice is. You know what I'm saying?
Showing that you're a citizen is not a lot to ask, is it? It really isn't.
No, it isn't.
Think about all the men and women that have to show their ID to get on base before they go and die for you.
Exactly. And even during peaceful times when I was in, it was a sacrifice being away from your family for 3 months.
I think during my 20 years, I was home for like 3 Christmases and a couple of Thanksgivings. I missed a lot of birthdays. I'll say that.
Yep.
Appreciate you calling.
People better wake up.
Absolutely. Take care, buddy. Appreciate you. Thank you, shipmate. He's got a great point. Lines are open. 615. Oh, wait. I think I put the wrong damn phone number up there. There we go. Wrong phone number. 615-475-7864. Feel free to give me a call. Let me know. I'm a cat person. That's okay. That's okay. Drain the actual swamp. Voter ID is a must. Absolutely. I agree. So 99% of you think sleeper cells are here. Attacking Iran carries a lot of weight because of what could be triggered here. Let's go line 3. What do you got, line 3?
Hi, Ben. Oh my God, I love your show. My father was a World War II vet.
Thank you.
And he was in the Enola Gay mission. I didn't know that until I married my husband, and he let it out. I love your show so much, and I'm all about the vets. We
Sure,
got to
thank
give
you
them
so much.
everything. Yes. God bless you, and I love your show. I'm always here. I sent you a little card because I'm an artist, and I just we can't do enough for our vets. That's all I can say. Is I love Trump so much.
Well, I
We gotta-
appreciate you calling. Where are you
Oh,
calling
thank-
from? Where are you located?
Northeast PA, a little town called Gibson. There's no lights in my town.
Good for you. My town I grew up in, we had one caution light. We had 2 deputies, and one of the guys' names was actually Roscoe Collins. That was his
I
actual
love
name.
it. Yeah, rural. I love the country. I really do. I'm from Los Angeles originally, and oh my God, what's gone on in my hometown is horrible. God really, He put me up here for protection. I really believe that.
Well,
God bless
thank you for calling.
Thank you so much. God bless you. I love you so much. All
God
you've
bless
done
you.
for
Take
us.
care. Yes, ma'am. It's good calls like that make doing this fun. Even dealing with some of the trolls. Yes, sleeper cells and lone wolves, useful idiots. Yeah. Yeah, I watched the original. I don't watch remakes. Easy to give directions in a town with 1 light. Absolutely. We had a caution light. Met that crew at an air show. Wow. Okay. Guys, it's the Ben Dyke Show. I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate y'all watching. I'm going to go take some meds and probably go back to bed. I feel like hammered poop. I feel like Don Lemon's butthole. Take care.